Welcome to Screenwriters Beat! I just Q&A. This is not the Q&A. Hi guys, we're back again. Welcome. Look at our panel. We got these great guys here once again on Screenwriters Beat, episode 40. The big
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We need some cake. I think. At least
pretty soon. Pretty soon.
I want to first welcome our regulars back. Nicole Jones-Dion, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. What have you been up to?
Oh gosh, all kinds of craziness. I think since we spoke last, I did one of those 48-hour films, which ours was the runner-up in the audience award for our group. So now we're waiting for the big, they're announcing all the awards this week, so we'll see if we get any of those. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Debris is now done, and it's going out to festivals all over the world, and so we're having our world premiere in Detroit the weekend of September 11th through the 13th. So if you're in Michigan, be sure to check it out at the Motor City Nightmares Horror Film Festival. And yeah, and then just stuff, writing. More scripts, getting things done. Just optioned a script this week, so that's another one.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, lots of stuff. It's all good.
Bravo. Also, one of our regulars, Eric Ingram. Hello, man. What's going on?
Hey, people. I didn't think I was going to make it today. I thought they were going to try to hold me out, but I kept fighting. I'm
glad. Google Hangouts is wonderful, but it has a few glitches we've yet to figure out.
I know. It's all right. It's all right. They're not going to stop it, so it's okay. No, I'm doing good. I'm trying to, I forgot how many shows it was ago, but I said I was going to try to get 6 scripts in before Thanksgiving, so I'm halfway there already. So.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was an amazing challenge.
Yeah, you got to put it out there. Got to put yourself out there. And then me and James, that's what we talked about a little earlier off screen, but we got a pilot that should be almost ready too. So that's something totally different. That was not part of the 6. That was just another thing.
Wow.
It was a little cherry on top of it.
Yeah, a little cherry on top, little frosty. You know how we do.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Oh, as you can see, we also have a couple extra panelists here, and I'm going to call them our irregulars. Because affectionately, because they've been guests and they're so good to come back and just be on our panel. Welcome, Joanne Hess. How are you? Oh, Joanne, your sound went. I don't know. Your sound is not working.
You're muted.
Let me see. Let's see if it's on my end. No?
No?
Joanne?
Hello?
There you
There
are.
we go.
Yay! It had to do drama.
Yes.
You're on, but not 100%. I think you went again. I don't know. What did you push?
All right, try this.
There. That's good.
Much better.
Okay, somehow I pressed something. Sorry, too many buttons.
Keep your hands up.
All right, where you can see them. They're right here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to be here.
What have you been working on?
Well, I think we finally have a final draft on one writing assignment, a British gangster crime action film.
Cool.
Producer just said he liked the script, so hopefully that's done. And then I am still on a final draft with my thriller. And while those are still waiting for notes, I'm working on a comedy. So, busy.
Cool.
Right. Nice.
Busy. James Moore, welcome back, is also another new irregular.
Thank you. I like to be considered the irregular. Just so happy to be back here once again with all of my esteemed colleagues in writing, and it's so much fun to be with you guys. Like Eric, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it today, but it worked out, and I'm really happy to be here. As far as what I'm working on, still working on the baseball comedy feature that my writing partner Jordan Margolis and I are in our second rewrite on. Working on not one, not two, but three crime dramas, and that's not including the one that I'm working on with Eric and Margaret Risley, which is just that's the like you said, the little cherry on top. It's the little special something something. When you see it, wow, it's gonna be like
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, strong women characters. I like that. Strong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, we missed the rest of our panel. Margie has her power was going to be off, not on purpose. It was the power company, and Nicole Kiefler is not well at the moment. She's suffering a concussion. So our love goes out to Nicole. Feel better soon.
Yes, please.
Yes, and Heidi is working, which is good. We like to hear people are working.
That's a good excuse. We'll let that one pass.
Yeah. All right.
That's cool. And hi guys, I'm Ann Kimbrough, and I've been working on short film scripts right now. I've got a new job working with a brand new production company starting up, and this is going to be what they put it all around, right?
Right.
No pressure.
Very
no
cool.
pressure.
Yeah, and books and stuff. So there's always that. There's always something to write. And I've been pitching a TV script everywhere. And well, we should talk about that on a different episode. Pitching. Yeah. 1,000 no's before you get your yes, right?
Right.
Yes. At least.
At least. But on today's episode, it's about turning your screenplay into a novel or a comic book, a graphic novel. And I know that everybody out there sort of says, oh, that's easy, turn it into a book. Hollywood loves books. But there's some caveats there, right? James, you're laughing. Have you had some experience? Is it easy?
Oh, wow. It is. No. Let's start this party up by throwing the ice cold water on everyone. No, it is not easy. I actually have a project that I've been going back and forth with trying to turn into a book, and let me tell you, it is like a root canal for me, trying to make this thing happen, because there's so many things that are not in a screen, or you don't necessarily need in a screenplay, or you're just thinking in terms of something visual, rather than in just I want to be very mellifluent with all of these fancy words, and I want to create this 900-page epic, and it's like I'm at page 5, and I'm already halfway through my script. So what do you do? What do you do? I mean, they give you these books and these things telling you that it's easy. It's a lie. It's just a lie. I don't get it.
Who else?
It's not easy.
Yeah, who's jumping on this bandwagon? It's a lie, Nicole? Have you attempted it?
I have not worked up the courage yet to actually do a novel. I've done several comic books, because I think comic books are more akin to films, because there is a visual storytelling medium.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, comics can almost serve as a storyboard for your film. But I'm not an artist, so that means there's this whole extra step of finding artists and getting them to understand your vision and then convey it, properly on the page. And then you got to pay them, and so that's an added expense that you're not going to run into if you're just doing a novel. And then, and you guys who have done books can attest to this too, just having a book or a comic isn't enough if no one actually sees it, if it's not out in the world on a shelf or on Amazon or somewhere for them to actually...
That's a good point. You can't just hand it to someone and them go, oh, great.
You have to market your comic book, and that takes you away from your screenwriting, and so it's something that, yes, it can be done, but just go in with your eyes open and fully aware of what you're getting yourself into, because it's not a simple endeavor, it's not an easy endeavor, and in the case of comics, unless you're a fantastic artist yourself, it's not an inexpensive endeavor. So just think twice before you go that route.
Joanne, have you thought about this either?
Well, actually, I have a unique situation because a fellow PS 43er friend of mine, David Brinland, he's actually putting his fantasy film script into a graphic novel form. And I worked a lot with his script, reading it. He also worked with Bill Boyle. But, fantasy, 1% of fantasy scripts are actually made. So where else are you going to go with it? So he thought, put it in the graphic novel form. But he had the same issue that Nicole brought up. You got to find an artist. You got to find an artist who's willing to stick with you for the project, because you don't want to change artists in the middle of the project. Expense, I mean, he's talking a 5-volume deal, and you're talking 5 figures, easy.
Wow.
Plus distribution, getting it out there. He was going to do a digital, so he didn't have to worry about printing, at least, on that. But what he liked about it is at least you, like Nicole said, you see your movie. It's there in print, so you can actually get to see it, which is nice. It's been a lot of fun for him, but the cost is just really astronomical. You're not just doing this on a whim. So that you definitely will really want to consider it.
Because when it comes to getting it out there, digital sounds great. But what if you wanted to be one of the big boys? Can you pitch to them? Has anyone gone down that route?
Oh, for the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've when I was doing my books, and I guess my caveat is I haven't done comics in a number of years just because the cost was too prohibitive. But yeah, I was pitching to all of the big ones. I mean, DC and Marvel have their own thing going on. There's no point in really approaching them. But there are others that are open to outside submissions. We went to Dark Horse. We went to Image. We had offers from a lot of the smaller press that I'm not going to mention by name. But one of the reasons why we opted to not go with them is because there are so many movies that are made out of comics. These smaller players are looking at anybody who comes in as a screenwriter with an idea for a movie deal. They're like, ooh, this is a way for us to make a ton of money above and beyond comic book sales. And so they wanted like 50% of the movie rights. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving you 50% of my movie.
Wow.
So just, when you're looking at these different contracts, these different offers that are out there, just be aware. I mean, Image is one of the best ones if you can get in with them. The creator controls all the content. They just they make their money off the comics, and they don't want anything above and beyond that. You just have to fit, whatever it is that Image is looking for. Ultimately, it was in my best interest, I thought, at the time, to have my own private label, and I did. I just created my own banner, my own series of books. I published 6 different titles under that banner. Some of them I had written, other people, I knew people who were written, and we did that, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool, and I met some really awesome people. And now, coincidentally,
Sales?
Well, that's the other thing is the comic industry is it's very different, and it's different now even than when I was doing it. So we were doing print books because this was kind of before the onset of the digital age. But digital, what I would recommend to people now, if you really want to do it, is start digital. Build up your base, build up your demand, and then print if you have enough demand to justify printing, because the print costs are not cheap, especially if you're doing a full color book. It can really add up. But yeah, once you build your base online, then you can maybe justify printing, and then it also gives you a lot more ammunition, a lot more credibility to go to these publishing houses too, because they'll say, oh look, you've got 100,000 views on DeviantArt or wherever it is that you're putting your pages. But the flip side of that is if people have already seen the book for free or for a very reduced rate, why would they pay for printing? But that's the
Eric, how about you?
They really like the colors, though. I mean, they really like the artwork. These people, they do like to have a hard copy. Yeah. It's all about the artist, so it depends.
Yeah.
True. I was going to throw it over to Eric. Have you had any experience with novels?
Novel? Real quick, did you turn the volume down or something?
Not on you.
No?
Not on anybody.
Everyone suddenly sounds real low. It sounds weird.
Really?
Anyway, no, I have.
Look at you. No.
I've turned a couple of scripts into either pilot, TV pilot, or there's one script I had that ended up being like 300 and something pages.
Whoa.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I mean, I'm already kind of at the novel, you know what I mean? So I'll edit it down for a script, but I can also kind of expound on some things and make it a novel. So I thought, I mean, dealing with the comics, everything that they just said about comics is right. The same thing I found too. I want to turn a couple of my kind of sci-fi stuff into a couple of a comic book, to do the whole reversal graphic novel first, and then have the script ready. You know, all that. I tried to do that, and they're absolutely right. Cause you got to be ready. you got to have some money behind you, someone told me to go to a college and get a student to do it, an art student to do it, or something like that. Someone who's
reliability would probably be.
Exactly. So you're gonna get into some other. It's not as simple as just going to get somebody and they want their name on the. No.
Yeah. Liability would be the least of your worries, because in that scenario, just speaking from experience, you get some college student who's just like real gaga, wide-eyed, and wants to do the next big thing, and then he gets a girlfriend, and she's like, "Why are you over?" And then just this John Lennon and Yoko Ono thing happens.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm sorry, I can't even talk about it anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is that when you're putting together your comic book team, you have to look at these artists as these are your stars, these are your celebrities. I mean, like Joanne was saying, it's like people who buy the book buy it for the artwork, and so you need to make sure that you're getting good art. And if you can afford a name artist or someone who already has a bit of a following, it'll make a huge difference. At the very least, spend the money to get a good cover artist.
Yes, absolutely.
You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but in the comic world, it's just the opposite.
It's essential.
Yeah.
It's absolutely essential.
Yeah, that's above and beyond your artist too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, to also talk about books a little, since it's amazing how much experience you guys have with the graphic novels. But in the book world, it's you can do it yourself now. I mean, it's in recent years with Amazon and CreateSpace. You can actually go out there and publish a book. I mean, you've got to put in the time and effort. But to me, it's all like a marketing thing. And it's like if you can't take a book to a producer and say, oh, here's my book, make it into a movie, unless you can say, oh, I've sold, I'm number 1 or 2 consistently on Amazon. You've got to have stats and a following. It's as much effort as it is to go out and find producers and pitch your scripts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to say I think today, and I know I'm going to date myself with this.
That's okay. We love it.
I was doing comics or attempting to do comics eons before the word digital was even a concept. It wasn't even this much of a thought yet. That's how far back I went. But the thing about it is now you have to, as a writer, you have to be so much more, not just a writer. You have to be your own writer, your own marketer, your own business strategist. There's so many different variables now. But that's not to sound discouraging about it, because if you're actually able to pull it off and build an audience, I think, which is the biggest thing, build a group of folks who actually like and enjoy your work, you can expand on that, and you will actually have people come into you wanting to work with you that will turn around and say, hey, I'm really, really into what you're doing. How can I be a part of it?
That's a good point.
Partnerships and collaborations now are becoming the cornerstones now for anybody that's trying to do that.
Yeah, like if you can be professional in doing all these other jobs, but you got to be professional, right? Right?
Yes, you absolutely have to be. Because again, you also have to understand too that you're also dealing with people's personalities, and if you're at that level already where you're working professionally, but they're not, you have 2 choices. You either, one, have to kind of nurture and school them to get to that level, or you have to wait for them to get there. And if you have to wait for them to get there, that means putting your own career off. So it's almost a catch-22. So you really need to be very, very careful in selecting the people that you work with, because not everybody's coming in where you are.
That's a good point. Anybody else want to?
Well, if I can just do like a really quick shameless plug, and it hasn't officially launched yet, so I can't say too much, but I'm involved with a new entity endeavor that's getting ready to do exactly what we're talking about for people who are screenwriters who want to do graphic novels but don't even know where to begin. This organization will cover it from soup to nuts, beginning to end, concept to distribution. We can help get you where you need to go, and it's a team of very experienced people who have been down this road, so we can make it as quick and painless for you, the writer, as possible. So anybody who's interested in this, reach out to me independently, and I can, once it launches next month, I can put you in touch with the right people, and maybe it's something that'll be a good fit for people who we haven't totally scared off yet. If it's something you're still interested in,
if you're still interested, good.
Yeah, but just be aware. I mean, we'll do most of the heavy lifting, but there is still going to be effort on your end and a cost involved, and that's just unavoidable.
Sure.
But, if you like the medium and you like the art, go for it.
Yes, yes.
I'm always a fan of diversity. I mean, if you can find multiple ways to get your work out there, and you can do it on a professional level, do it. Definitely. So that's the positive part. Anyone else have something to add? Because I want to segue in here at some point to our show and tell, because we could obviously we have examples, and that's our show and tell today, is examples of how we've taken our screenplays and turned them into other formats. Who wants to go first with that?
I have mine. I can show you.
Okay. Nicole, who was?
No, I don't know. See, oh, can you guys see this without the glare?
Yep.
Oh, it's really
tilt
glaring.
it forward. Not bad. Or yeah, that way.
No, I just made it worse. All right. Well, anyway, this is
Roadkill.
It's Roadkill Zoo. I have 6 issues of it. 6 issues. And wow. This was kind of the book that put us on the map. This was nominated for the comic book equivalent of an Oscar. So for those who are familiar with that world, we were nominated for Best Newcomer in the Eisner Awards for our penciler. You talk about having superstars on your project. Our cover artist is Nick Bradshaw. He was doing the Army of Dead comics. Our inker went on to work on Batman, Superman.
Wow.
He's an amazing, just really sweet, nice guy. But this was a book that springboarded a lot of people's something bigger. I also.
How nice of you.
Well, it's. There's a much longer story there that I don't really want to get into, but no, okay. I mean, Derek was really instrumental in helping put the team together, and it talks. I always strive to work. This is what I encourage people to do: is work with the best quality people you can afford, because don't compromise on your art. That's the absolute worst possible thing you can do. It reflects poorly on your product. It reflects poorly on your brand. It reflects poorly on you.
People remember that.
Hire good people. And this one, I don't know if you can see this one, Prison of the Damned.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that artwork is amazing.
Ooh, spooky. This is Keith Thompson did this. He's amazing. He's really good too. And this was the script that was just optioned this week.
Oh, fantastic.
So, not that
good girl
really helped, but that's why I wanted to show that one. I have others too, but those are the main ones.
Eric, did you have anything to show and tell?
Well, you guys, something's happened where I could barely hear anybody.
Oh, really? Well, you have a couple times dropped out, so.
I have? Okay.
Yeah.
So, just keep going. Let's figure this out, but yeah, keep going. I'll come back.
Okay, James, do you have a show and tell?
I have a photo I'd like to share with you guys. And as soon as I can find it, because it's on my phone.
Okay, Joanne, let's see if Joanne's got one ready.
Well, all I was going to say is if you want to go to Facebook and look at Dave's page, he has been posting pages of the work in pencils and when it gets colored. And let's see if I can get this on there.
Pull it back a little. Drow Kingdom of, how do you say it?
Visayas.
And that's on Facebook?
Visayas.
Okay. And that you put that in
his Facebook page.
Oh, but Dave's Facebook page?
Yeah. Dave's Facebook. Well, or you can, if you're a PSA, you can go to, you can just look up Dave Brindlin on Facebook too, and I'm sure he will be able to give you all the information you need to get to his pages.
Yeah.
He'd be very happy to accommodate you. No, it's really awesome work. It really is. It's beautiful. So
That's cool. James, you find yours?
Yes. I hope you guys can see. I'll try to. This is the cover art.
One for the money.
For the money.
one for the money.
One for the money. And Eddie Gideon Mysteries is the. Hey, there we go. It's the first book in the Eddie Gideon series. So I'm trying to make it as a novel series. One of the things though that I've been trying to do, because I've focused so much on my screenwriting within the last year, just decided to make that my focus, is to really try and set some time aside that's just for the working on the book and trying to get it to where it needs to be, and getting the cover art done was the first thing that I really tried to focus on, and making sure that I had that together.
That's cool. Eric, can you hear us yet?
Barely.
Do you have a show and tell item? Show and tell.
Because I don't have any. I don't have anything on no comics, and no, I don't have any of that.
Soon.
Soon, yes, but right.
Not
soon.
yet. I have 2 books. Scarlet Revenge is based directly on a thriller script that I turned into a romantic suspense. In the series is Scarlet Envy. The character's last name is Scarlet.
And they're awesome.
Very nice.
When did you do the second? When did you do part 2?
It came out early this year, like February.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I did work with an artist who is a friend. So we did more of it's a children's graphic novel called Book of Bones. So it's more. I put it on Wattpad, so. So it was a cool story. It was a short story, and I don't know. We did like one book worth, but then there was nowhere to sell it, and I didn't want to actually produce it. I mean, we know how expensive it could be. But it was fun. It's a different kind of writing, but it's really cool to learn. It's good for your art. Your writing art, I guess. So that was my little nugget of graphic novel. I don't know if I'd go there again, but I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I had a question from the audience, and
yes.
We'll see what you think about this. This is a slightly different topic. It's if you could enter any contest next year, I guess this year too, what would you enter and why? I was wondering too if there are some really good genre contests that you would say, because I mean there's the top contests that we would all say, like Austin and Nichols, but you might say why. I think why is the key here.
Right.
Eric, did you hear that to answer?
I heard most of that. I think it's really important to know what competition you have the best chance of winning. What I mean by that is this: if you don't kind of write heavy dramas and kind of epic sweeping Nick Sparks kind of stuff, Nichols might not be for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Page seems to be doing pretty good. Austin seems, because they got the categories. So if you write a comedy and win the comedy category at Austin, that's a pretty good, something on a pretty legit and very good thing to have on your resume. So I'm not really sold on just go to every single one and just put it in, because it is very subjective. I don't care what they say. It's all about kind of what reader you get that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get the wrong reader, it's pretty, fishy. I don't know, and I'm not saying that it's bad on their part. It's just human nature. You just get someone who's not into screwball comedies, right? They think this is stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? That don't mean it's bad. It's just you just got the wrong reader. But so I would really do my research, see where you really have the best chance of winning, and that really means it really breaks down the genre. So if you're a genre writer and not, like I said, not drama, not epic kind of sweeping period pieces. Nichols might not be for you.
Right.
Right. James, do you have a fave?
It's outside of Nickel and Austin. I do like Scriptapalooza. They seem to really focus in more so on the writer than just on saying, oh, we've got this name and that name. And I also do my research on the track record and see, what sort of track record has happened with the people who've actually won these contests. What's happened to them afterwards? Have they been picked up? Are they on series that they get a movie deal? And a lot of times in other contests they don't. You hear from these guys one time. But I think that one. I think the Blacklist is also very good. I've heard some different mixed reviews about it, but I think at the end of the day, kind of like what Eric was saying, if you're doing your research on who they are, who's gotten in and what's happened after the contest is over, I think that really helps you determine which one of these things that you should get into. I don't think contests are an overall bad idea, and I don't think necessarily you need to do them every single year. But I think there comes a point in time when once your career has reached a certain peak, you don't necessarily need them, but do them anyway, just to kind of keep your skills up high.
Good point. Well, there are a lot of contests you have to have earned under $25,000, so that rules out some once you get to a certain point.
Yes.
Read small print, right?
Right.
Joanne, you got a contest you love?
Well, I'm a Page fan. I like Page out of all of them, and I've done quite a few of them. I just think it's really well run. I think they're good and fair judges. I think the feedback is excellent.
It's free, right? Don't they get a little feedback for everything? I think you get something.
No,
I think you have to pay.
You have to pay. You have to pay for it. Sometimes they'll give you. Sometimes
like a note.
If you've entered in the contest the year before, they'll have a special, and maybe you'll get free on one. I mean, it depends, or lower cost.
Don't hold
or lower cost. But I've always thought you had to pay. But I've also the other thing is too is that people care if you win that one. It does have a credibility associated to it. If you do make quarterfinalists and above, it can matter for your credibility. It can matter on your resume. So, and the other thing is too is that I've noticed that I've gotten into Fresh Voices. I've gotten into a lot of others, and like James was saying, or Eric was saying, depending who the reader is, but it's still funny how you can make quarterfinal in Page and not even place in some of these other ones.
Yeah.
So
don't take it. Don't feel bad, right?
It's really mind-boggling sometimes what people are thinking of. I thought it was good for me in the very beginning. I thought to get experience and get some of the feedback and get some recognition. I'm glad you said that, James, because I had really thought of backing off of them, and because I've got all these other assignments to do. But maybe I'll just stick to my guns and just do Page and stay away from the others for next time. But that one in particular is, I think, the one. If I was going to only pick one, that would be it.
That would be it. Nicole?
Well, I guess for me personally, I would say, again, do your research, and it really depends on what point in your career you are, because if you're just starting out and you're just looking for coverage, find the ones that offer coverage as included as part of the package or as a cheap supplemental. Sometimes that's an easy, relatively inexpensive way to get coverage on your script.
You get a twofer, right?
Yeah, it's like a twofer, yeah, and then maybe you can, win an award along the way, so that's a nice little perk. The thing that I always tell people, aside from what Eric was saying about genre, because as a genre writer, I think it's pointless for me to enter Nichols. It just doesn't matter. I mean, I've had scripts make it to the quarterfinals, but they're zombie scripts and they're not going to go beyond that.
Well,
I get
XF Baggage won one year.
But that's not zombies.
But it was just a light, silly movie. Well, the movie itself was awful. I think the script was a lot better, but it wasn't a drama.
Zombies in it?
Yeah, well, and
no zombies.
I mean, to Nichols' credit, I think they've realized that the type of scripts that they've been selecting as winners aren't necessarily commercial, marketable scripts that anybody would actually want to make into movies and see. So I've heard they are trying to actually branch out and be more inclusive of more mainstream things. But the day Nichols selects a zombie script as one of their finalists, I will start entering again. No, it better be mine. It better be mine. But that's what I know.
Well, it wouldn't be yours because you wouldn't be entering it.
I wouldn't be entering it. I don't think I'm eligible. But no, so here's my final word on contest though. It's like, for me, do your research, look and see who the judges are, because especially if you're trying to get an agent or a manager, a lot of these contests have the agents and managers as judges, so you don't even have to win. As long as it's an easy way to guarantee these people are going to read your script. If it's good enough, it'll rise up through the ranks, and that's a good way to get seen by someone who could maybe give you representation. That's how I got my first agent, my first manager, was through a contest.
Excellent point.
Excellent. Now I'm not defending Nichols against genre writers, but but there is a point that the good writing will make it to a certain point in Nichols, no matter what genre it is. And if you're in the quarterfinalists in Nichols, there are people that just ask for that. There's agents and managers that will get you in the door. So that alone is a reason to do it if you are a genre writer. That's what I'm just saying about Nichols. It has benefits beyond winning.
I was, and this isn't for Nichols, this is for a different contest, but I actually, the script that just got optioned, which was a finalist in Page, by the way, came in second in a different competition. And I was specifically told off the record by somebody running the contest that they said they could not give their first prize to a zombie script because they thought it would reflect poorly on the competition. So I got second place instead.
Right, that's terrible. It's terrible. Good writing is good writing, but that's the cross we must bear. The bloody cross.
When you choose to be a horror writer, it's
the bloody cross stabbed into the zombie that we must bear.
Exactly.
Well, actually, you told me about one, Nicole, that I think is worthwhile. The Launchpad.
The Launchpad. Thank you for reminding me. I have it on my right here in front of me as a reminder. So this is a fairly new competition. So I can't speak from a lot of experience with it, but just judging from their website and the numbers that they claim, the number of people who've gotten representation, have gotten deals, it looks really impressive.
Do you want to hear the numbers?
Oh, go ahead.
The numbers are, in 2 years they've been around, they've had 66 writers signed. This is for feature scripts, and 27 projects have been set up.
Wow.
And I don't think any other festival can say that, or competition can say that. So yeah, it's the Tracking Board Launchpad competition. So I would look into it. And I think
just put in Launchpad, you'll find it.
Yeah, I think it might be something worth checking out.
I'm submitting a pilot script to it.
Yes, well, they have a pilot competition too that's closed right now. Actually, their final is September 15th. You could still get in this year.
Hurry with those rewrites.
My one I would add in is Tracking B, just the letter B. It's a different tracking board than the Launchpad tracking board. I'm not sure, I don't know about the features, but for television, if you have a TV script you think is solid, they're the only one that have the best, I think, record in the sense of Extant, the TV show, is a TV show that is on the air right now, and that was discovered in that contest. I don't know any contest that can say that. So, Tracking B.
Tracking B.
Make a note. Cool, guys. We've come to the end of another show. Woo-hoo!
At the end, no.
It's wonderful having you here, and I appreciate you taking the time. As everyone out there knows, we have another show coming right after, but I'd like you to say goodbye for episode 40 with a word or saying of encouragement. Hopefully meant for writers, but any encouragement should do. James, would you like to go first?
Oh, first? Okay. Okay, so here's my word of encouragement to all of you writers out there. And this is actually something I'm paraphrasing from one of my favorite books called The War of Art. If you do not write, if you choose not to write, the gift that you have been given does not get to be a blessing to someone it was meant for. You shame the very angels who brought it to you and the God who created it for you. You have been given a mission, a duty, and a calling. It is your choice, your time to step to it. Don't wait.
All right.
I don't want to do one now.
Amen.
Amen. Stop right there. Does anybody have anything that could beat that?
Oh,
Thank you and good night.
Rough fight. Yeah.
I'll be sitting and do my homework.
So,
What?
thanks, James. I think you put a pin in it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it. Everybody, I'll let everyone say a quick goodbye, and we'll catch everyone in the next show. Eric, thank you for being here. James, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Joanne, I'm so happy we now have the irregulars. Thanks for starting that.
That's right. Watch out for James and I.
Yeah. Nicole, thanks again for being here.
Yes, those are regulars that pop up when you least expect them.
Yeah.
I know.
Everybody out there, keep writing. Please like us and leave comments. We love to hear from you, and we would love to include one of your questions in an upcoming show. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all.